When Dr. Kathy May Tran is not on the front lines of Mass General Hospital in Boston, she turns to her viola and meditation from the French opera Thais. For a few months now, music has been part of her practice.
I see a lot of pain and sadness and sickness and illness in my work. And every day when I leave work, that's what I bring home with me. With the song, every time I play it, I pour everything I have into pulling the notes out and making the shape of the music. And then when I stop playing it, it feels like a release.
Dr. Tran has been treating COVID-19 patients at Mass General Hospital in Boston for more than a year. Like many healthcare workers, what she's seen is beyond words.
Sometimes I feel the burden of expectation that we're supposed to be superhuman, that dealing with sickness and illness and death is something that we should be able to do. And that's not true. Every person who is transferred to the ICU, every person who passes away, that's a person that we carry inside of our hearts. This return to music has been my oxygen.
Tran is part of the Boston Hope Music Teaching Program, a pilot collaboration between the New England Conservatory of Music and Mass General Hospital. The idea is simple. The program pairs conservatory musicians with frontline healthcare workers for private music lessons.
I'm able to kind of channel those bad energies and focus on something that is creative and productive.
Tran hadn't played in 10 years when she dusted off her viola for lessons with Luther Warren.
And then you have a lot of room when you go back, then you can do all the...
The best way for us to deal with traumas that we've experienced is to find a ray of hope and beauty.
Music as tonic is something Dr. Lisa Wong knows about. She wrote a book, Scales to Scalpels, a reflection on the healing arts of music. And for 2 decades, she served as president of the Longwood Symphony Orchestra, an ensemble made up entirely of medical professionals. When the pandemic shut down live concerts, the Longwood Symphony Orchestra went virtual, delivering performances to patients in hospitals.
The easy thing was just to put everything online and on YouTube and let everybody access it. What we really noticed was how impactful the music was to the caregivers who were themselves traumatized from all of this. And again, thinking about how veterans are traumatized, then we said, well, how can we treat or offer healing to the caregivers themselves?
The answer, virtual lessons with virtuosos. And what began organically was given backbone. Teaching fellows at the New England Conservatory were trained on trauma-informed therapy to help deal with the needs of healthcare workers.
We talked to them about how this is music education not for helping somebody go on to play in Carnegie Hall, for example, but it's really for the purpose of helping people to reflect and giving them an opportunity to have the gift of music.
Warren, a violist at the New England Conservatory, says teaching frontline workers anchored him as a musician in uncertain times.
To be given a chance to use my work to help those that are doing the work at the front lines, I think that's really powerful, and that by itself is very inspiring.
When Tran picked up the viola back in the fall, she had a particular song she wanted to learn.
Okay, so meditation?
Meditation from Thais was my mom's favorite song.
When Tran plays meditation on the viola, she draws her strength from her mother, Wei Tran, a lone refugee from Vietnam who scrambled for 2 years to come to the U.S. A single mom, she worked as a hotel maid and then earned her nursing degree, raising 2 children in rural Georgia.
growing up in the Deep South as an Asian American is a very isolating experience. I had my mom, I had my brother, but other than that small support system, I didn't have a lot of people who understood me, and I didn't have a lot of places to share my thoughts and my feelings. And music was a way for me to do that.
When colon cancer struck their mother 6 years ago, she and her brother Tom turned to music.
We held her hands during her last minutes. And when she passed away, I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. But I remember that my brother, he stood up and he walked to the violin and he picked it up and he played meditation for her. In the Vietnamese culture, we have an annual remembrance ceremony. So every year we have a ceremony for my mom. Every year, meditation is a song that my brother plays for her.
In December, Tran performed meditation in honor of her mother.
Even if there are things out of my control, it's giving me an energy to go on and to continue what I'm doing and to help as many people as I can help, as much as I can.
In February, Dr. Tran and Dr. Wong played a duet at the historic Ether Dome at Mass General Hospital in time for the Lunar New Year and to share their joy of the Boston Hope Music Teaching Project. For Asian American Life, this is Rayner Ramirez.